Hello everybody, my name is Noushin and today is Sunday, May 24, 2020. I hiked the Grand Canyon last year about this time, and as I was thinking about the memories and the great challenge, I had many great lessons from that challenge, and I thought I want to share with you. Um, and during the video and the pictures that I will share with you, I got one message, and that's the whole intention that I want to share with you. And this is my take two, because I get so emotional, so I couldn't continue the video I was taping. So hopefully I can make it to the end of this round. And so the message is, I hiked the Grand Canyon at the age of 61. Even though the age doesn't mean anything to me, it's just a number, it's just a mindset and how we take care of the body and our lifestyle. But collective agreement is 61, and I hiked the Grand Canyon. And so my message is, I hiked the Grand Canyon just because I didn't know I cannot do it. So the story starts with one of my great friend, Heidi. She wanted to do a fundraising for a school project, and she was talking to many of us that who wants to join with her for the steps to take and go hike the Grand Canyon. And I have to say that she's a triathlon woman, and I just hike for myself and for fun. And make a long story short, because it's going to be a long story, if you I hope you love stories. I love stories. We ended up with 4 of us to commit and say yes and actually do it. And in regarding that project, I was happy that I'm part of something that bigger than me, and also a big, I can say, lifetime challenge. But I didn't know what's in front of me. When I said yes, I was happy that I'm gonna spend time with my friends and in nature, and one of my biggest love is to be with the nature and hike. And so we stayed one night at Williams in Arizona, for those of you that know the area. So we can get up early in the morning and go. The plan was go and hike the Kaibab trail, done 7 miles done, and go cross the Colorado River for 7 more miles and come up the the other side, Bright Angel, for another 7 miles, or so it was total of 1 day. We're going down, we're going cross, and we're going come up in 1 day, which they, the professional, they say rim to rim. And I said yes to that. So we started around 4 a.m. We woke up because we had some drive to come to the parking lot and then get the shuttle and go to the trailhead. So we started, I want to say about like 4 something, before 5, before the sunrise. And I will share some pictures with you so you can see the actual time and our challenge. And it started very great. It was so much fun, and being at sunrise at the Great Canyon. Are you kidding me? It's Grand Canyon. And so I was taping and just like a child in a candy store or a playground, just like going. And then eventually, because the other friend was a triathlon male friend, and the other friend was a like body worker and a trainer, personal trainer, and me. So at some point, definitely they want to go faster and faster, and I was just taking my time, and by the time, I want to say around like 9 a.m., they got down to the Colorado River, and for me it was like close to 10 a.m. And by the time we got done, you know, with all the experiences that I saw, the horses and the Colorado River and coming down, so it was like 7 miles done straight to the river, hiking the Grand Canyon, going down. And then by the time I got done, I was so exhausted, and I, you know, just all of us had backpack for the food, because the trip's supposed to be only 1 day, so we packed for 1 day. So we had the dinner reservation and the cabin reservation the other side, so we can get the shuttle and come back to the parking lot and pick up our cars and come back to Phoenix. And by the time I got done, I was so exhausted that, and be a body worker and know my body, I knew I cannot continue anymore. So I apologized to them, and I asked them to please continue your journey, and I cannot go on, because I know I'm going to injure my knee and my foot, and I cannot do it any longer. So by that time, we got to the Phantom Ranch, which is a very, very famous, great cabin and the ranch done to the Grand Canyon by the Colorado River. And if you want to have food, you have to make reservation. If you want to have place to stay, you have to have reservation from months and months and months before, ahead of time. So when we went inside, asked if there is any place so for me to stay, they had only 1 bed in a women dorm, and I reserved that bed for myself. And as I said, it was about like 10 a.m. And my friends, they continued the journey, because the plan was to get to the other side before the sunset, and you know, cross the whole canyon, going down and going up. But I stayed because I listened to my body, and I knew that I cannot continue any longer. And during that time, from like 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., I managed to go and watch the Colorado River and go, you know, see what's around the Phantom Ranch, and all by myself. And it was a great, great experience. And at one point, the pouring rain was coming, and I was just hiding under a I want to say like fig tree or something. I will show you all the videos. And but by the time I wanted to stay over the night and then come up, and when I asked for dinner, they said they cannot serve me, because there wasn't enough food. They just serve food for reservation. And then I asked for morning breakfast, and they say the same. You have to have reservation prior, because the only way that they can get food is by the horses and the mules and donkeys. So they're coming down to the Grand Canyon, and they bring food, or people that they are staying in the tent, and they are camping. So I looked at my own supply and inventory. I had 1 more hard boiled egg. I have 1 protein bar, and the water was no problem. I had 4 bottles of waters, and throughout the hike trail, there was so much water, so water was not a problem. So my friend Heidi, when she wants to leave me, she gave me a half of her chips, and she said it has salt and you need it. And at the dorm, when I talked to other women and I told them that the story, and everybody left, and I stayed, so I'm gonna go up the next day. One of the women so kindly gave me half of her sandwich. Was very hard baguette with salami and cheese, which none of that I don't eat because of my diet. Not that they are bad food, it's just my body cannot accept and process that. So that was all I had. And they told me that come up from the Bright Angel. It's about 8 miles, and it's not as hard as the Kaibab trail that we came down, and you can do it. So I managed to take a shower and rest, and around like 4 a.m. again next day, I think it's May 31st, 2019. I woke up and packed my stuff again, and all by myself, had no idea what I'm doing. The only thing I knew was going up was the only way. Because I asked them, what are my options? I know there are so many people here, but I was by myself. So what are my options? And the option was they can ask for a helicopter, and it was $1,000 to come if I can get the ride. And that was another one. And raft that we can go through the Colorado River, and the raft was not available then for whatever reason. And I said, because even it's not promised to wait for a helicopter, I said I just get my chances and come up, see how it goes. So I started 5 a.m. On that day and had no idea where I'm going. I had no reception on my phone, and I had my backpack, and I said I'm just gonna go. The only way is coming up. I cannot stay here. So my point is, I did it because I didn't know I cannot do it, and just one by one step, I started 5 a.m. and if for those people that they done it, you know it's not a crowded place. So I was, most of the time I was by myself, and just keep saying that because that was the whole thing for me, that all by myself. And coming up, and occasionally I see people passing by, and trail was very, very great, maintained and well signed, so getting lost was not a problem. It was just the energy and the motivation and keeping myself all together. And insane, because as I just look up, and it's just like Grand Canyon, all the mountains, all the beauty, like everything is in front of me, and I'm just like a small person just going one step at a time. And as I was seeing the Colorado River, I'm just coming up, I was just so happy that, oh, okay, I'm just getting farther from the river and coming up, and then didn't know that another turn, I'm coming down, and said, why I'm getting closer to the river? I supposed to go up, but the challenge was because it's a mountain, so the trail was going up, going down, going up, going down, and finally I saw myself that going farther. And they told me it's 8 miles. It's not. My phone, after I got up, showed me it's 13 miles. I don't know exact, but for me it took like 13 miles. And I managed to have my food and water, and I rested any time that I was just so tired. And at one point I was just so frustrated, so tired, and really devastated, didn't know what to do. And I could hear my thought, I could even see my thought processes, how it wants to take me out and takes me to the fear and frustration and anger, and what should I do. And then I can like see myself that leaving that thought, coming back, my only hope was my phone, which I took pictures of myself, I look at myself, I start videotaping all around me. I was in the Grand Canyon, are you kidding me? So I was just taping on my surrounding and then watching it and just seeing that what it is that I'm doing, and that's my greatest joy. And I was just keeping like another mile, or at at some point you get to the Indian Gardens, which is just so beautiful trail and so beautiful place. And so I took my time. I took off my shoes, all the blisters, and everything that I had, and I put my feet in the water, and I stayed, I don't know for how many minutes or hours, and then I start going back again. And the last 3 miles, when you go to the Bright Angel Trail, it's a little bit more crowded because people come from the top going down for 3 miles, going to the Indian garden and go up again. And then at that point, I was not very oriented because I was just so tired and maybe even dehydrated, even though I was managing to drink a lot of water, and the sun was coming, it was getting hot, so I was just washing my shirt and putting back on, and wash like my hair getting wet, so I'm not with the heat exhaustion, so I don't have that condition. And at one point, one of the rangers saw me, and she came and she said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah." "How many more miles?" And she said, "3 more miles, you have to go up." And I don't know how I was appearing to her. She said, "You don't look good, just sit down." And she gave me a pack of the electrolyte and asked me if I have water, and I said yes. So she poured it in my water bottle, the electrolyte, and she gave it to me, and she just drink it because you are very dehydrated. And then she gave me a pack of the salted crackers. And so with all that, I managed to and she told me, don't go by the edges because you might get dizzy, and you might fall down. It's very dangerous trail, and you're all by yourself. I said yes. My friend, they left yesterday evening, and I'm doing it today. So by the time I got up, it was 3 p.m. So for 10 hours, I was on that trail. And as I said, it was great experience of my life so far in my 62 years life. And looking forward to so many great places that I want to see. And again, there was only one thing kept me going. I didn't know I cannot do it, so I did it. And at the top, I had reception, so I connected my friends, and they came and they picked me up, and we came back to Phoenix. And again, it was the challenge that I want to do it, and it was just because, not that I trusted myself, not because it was easy things to do. For many people, it's the achievement of the lifetime. And I'm happy to say that I have the badge of, thank you Heidi for buying that badge for me, rim to rim. I didn't do it in one day, but I did it in 48 hours. And I hiked the Grand Canyon down to the river and came up. And again, why am I doing this? Because I promised a couple of friends to share my adventure and the story of the challenge of the hiking the Grand Canyon. And just again, for whomever wants to do it, it's only one message: I did it because I didn't know that I cannot do it, so I did it. To many more life adventures. Thanks for listening and watching.